Hi, Sunflower here. So today is March 15th, I believe, Saturday. I've been off trail since, I believe, the 7th. I had hiked from Neal's Gap to Hogpen Gap that day, and halfway through my video I was talking about how I had this rash on my head, and I was hoping it wasn't shingles, but being a nurse, I was starting to think, well, it's not poison ivy because it didn't itch at all. And I've never had poison ivy or poison oak, so I was like, well, I don't know, maybe I have it, but I was really thinking I definitely have shingles, because it was just like the most intense burning pain on my forehead, and it was moving down onto my face more. And when I got down to Hogpen Gap, Soupmeister was there doing trail magic with his wife Misty, and I was talking to some section hikers, and one happened to be a doctor and the other one happened to be a nurse. And I said, well, you know, what do you think? Do you think I have shingles? I go, I had the shingle shot. I had the 2 shots to prevent shingles. And the doctor was looking at it, and she's like, well, it kind of looks like it could be poison oak or poison ivy. And she says, is it itching? I'm like, it's not itching at all. I go, it's burning. I mean, it's the worst burning pain that you could possibly have. And so she was like, oh, she's like, yeah, it sounds more like shingles. And the nurse was like, I don't know, you had the shot. And I'm like, I go, it doesn't matter if you've had the shots. I go, you can still get shingles. But the doctor was like, well, you know, see how it goes, and if it's not getting better, or it starts affecting your eye, she goes, you need to go to urgent care. So that night we slept in the van at Hogpen Gap, and when I woke up in the morning, my eye was starting to swell and close up on me. So we drove to Blairsville, and we went to an urgent care, and it was closed. Then we went to the hospital right there, and I was asked them, is there any other urgent cares close by? And they were like, well, the one over across the road opens up at 10. And so I think it happened to be like the time change because it was Sunday, so I had to wait like half hour for the urgent care to open. And I get in there, and they come in, and they're like, yeah, that definitely looks like shingles. And so they wanted to do a fluoroscopy test on my eye to see if it had gone into my eye. So they put these drops in my eyes, and then did this ultraviolet light thing, and the nurse practitioner was like, well, let me go get my colleague because I'm not sure. So she went and got her colleague, and the colleague came in and just took one look at me, and she's like, you need to go see the ophthalmologist. So they called this ophthalmologist in Murphy, North Carolina, and apparently he's open 24 hours, but they were like, well, he said it probably is shingles, but come Monday morning and go to his office, and he'll fit you in. So we drove over there that day and spent the night at Walmart parking lot in the van. And the next morning I go in there, and I was in there for probably 4 hours. There was probably 30 people in and out of this office. My eye is like grossly, looks like a giant blister by now, and it's closed shut. People are looking at me like I'm from outer space. And so I was just like, my head hurt so bad. I felt like somebody had driven a nail spike through the top of my head, and the burning sensation, it was just, my whole face was on fire. And I finally see the doctor, and he looks at me, and he's like, he goes, I've seen a lot of shingles, and he's like, this is one of the worst cases I've ever seen. so then he examines my eye, and he goes, I don't know how, but you're lucky it's not in your eye. So he prescribed me antibiotic and steroid drops for my eyes, and he's like, you got to make sure you take that antiviral, and he said you're probably going to need to take it for 3 months, and the drops. He says after a month I can try to taper it off, he said, but if I start having any symptoms that come back, I have to start it right back up, because he says it can just flare up again. So I'm like, great. So we finally left there, went to Walmart, got the eye drops, and decided, well, I might as well come home, because I can't hike with the pain in my head and my eye swollen shut. So we came home, and then that was on Monday. And then Tuesday I started having some vertigo. I would just stand up, I would start walking, and then I'd go sideways. So I was like, okay. And I had like really excruciating ear pain, and my jaw was starting to hurt. So I called the doctor and made an appointment to see them on Wednesday. And when we went in there, they said, well, it's just it's a neurological pain. So they upped my gabapentin to like 300 3 times a day or something. So I'm taking 900 milligrams a day now for the neuropathy pain in my ear and head and everything. And I mean, it did help upping the medication, but the first couple of days, it was just, all I wanted to do was, I had an ice pack on my head like 24/7, because it just burned so bad. And finally, the swelling started going down in the eye after I'd been doing the drops. This is, I think, day 7 now. So the swelling has, pretty much gone. I can see out of my eye now. I still have like a red patch up here on my head, and I've got some like dry, like scabby areas on my scalp. So this, I've been putting a bunch of hydrocortisone cream on. It doesn't really itch, but it kind of soothes it. And just been doing the antiviral medication and the drops. So I'm hoping the headaches will go away. I would like to get back on trail this week, like on Wednesday, which is like the 17th or 18th, I think. And I just want to get back out there so I don't get so far behind that I can't make Katahdin, in time. So just keep me in your prayers that the pain will go away, and it'll just get better, and I won't have any more flare-ups after I stop the medication. And I'm not having very good luck with the whole peeing thing, and now the shingles. I go, next I'll probably have norovirus. It's just like, I got to keep my fingers crossed and pray to God nothing else happens. It's just been an experience. Today I'm let me flip this around. I can't put. Got my tent set up in the barn, and I'm Lysoled it out, trying to get the pee smell out of it and everything from before. So it'll be all disinfected. Probably have to spray it with some permethrin again, and hopefully that'll take care of all that smelliness. And then a lady that's hiking the trail, she has a little Chihuahua dog named Laffy. Her trail name is Brains, and she's moving her van along the trail too. So we're gonna try to hook up together or move our van so that we'll put it at one at one stop and one at the other, so that and then hike in between, and hopefully it'll be easier for both of us and save us some money, you know, not having to go to the hostels or get shuttle rides. So I'm looking forward to that and hoping that that works out. Hopefully we'll hike close to the same pace, you know. Eventually we may have to split up, I don't know, but I'm just hoping that'll be good, you know, for a little while anyways, until at least the pain of the shingles and that goes away and I'm able to hike at a faster pace. And I think that's pretty much it about oh, I did want to say, does anybody know I have a cooler cloth, and for some reason that thing stinks to high heaven. I was hiking the one day and I kept smelling, you know, pee, and I was like, why am I smelling pee? And so then I'm thinking, man, I must have bad crotch rot, you know, something that, you know, trying to smell myself. I'm like, I can't tell if I have it or not. And then I happened to like bend down and my cooler cloth was right there, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the cooler cloth. It stunk. And I don't know, I thought these things weren't supposed to smell. So if I'm doing something wrong, can somebody please put in the comments what I can do to make it so it doesn't smell? Otherwise, I'm ditching the cooler cloth and going back to the bandana, because a bandana I know doesn't smell because the sun bleaches it and there's like no smell. But that cooler cloth, whoo! I mean, it stinks to high heaven. God's probably up there going, woo! He can probably smell it all the way up there. But anyways, let me know in the comments if you know anything that I'm doing wrong with this cooler cloth. Thanks.